Okay, we're rolling now, Barry.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, first of all, very much for your service. Much appreciated, believe me. And I see here that you were born in where? In were you born in Muskegon area?
Yes, I was born in Muskegon.
Okay.
1949, January 13th.
Okay. And who were your parents and what were they doing for an occupation?
Well, my father was Chester Kroll. He was a foundry worker, foundry superintendent, foundry. And my mother, she was just a housewife. Her name was Gloria Kroll.
Yeah, that's seems to be a lot of what happened in the Muskegon area. You know, there was a lot of industry over here, so a lot of the parents ended up in foundries or factories.
Yeah.
Mom stayed home.
As a matter of fact, that's where I retired out of CWC also.
Oh, Campbell Cannon.
Yeah,
okay.
And he retired out of CWC, and I retired out of CWC.
Yeah, good. So, what or who did you leave behind when you left to serve? Did you have a family? Or?
Yes, I had a wife and 2 children, 2 daughters.
Okay, so you
when I went to Vietnam, I mean, I had both my daughters. Well, one was born while I was in Vietnam. The other one lived with us when she moved down to Fort Sill when I went to ACO school.
Okay, so then were you married before you signed up?
I didn't sign up. I got drafted.
You got drafted.
Let's
Okay.
get that straight. No, I did not. I got married while I was going from. All right, you want me to tell you everything?
Sure, go ahead.
All right, when I was in boot camp, I went to the captain of my unit and told him that I need to go home after boot camp to get married to my pregnant girlfriend. No problem, Barry, no problem whatsoever. We could set it all up. So, of course, my wife set up a whole nice wedding, and everything. And when it was time, when I got done with my basic training, I got my orders to go to Fort Sill. So I went to the captain and sergeant. Well, if you know what your body's like when you get done with basic training, you're whipped, you're beat down. And he says, well, no, you go to Fort Sill. And this captain, he said, you go to Fort Sill, there's a lot of girls there. I said, you promised me. Well, sorry about that. So I went to Fort Sill. When I got to Fort Sill, I went to the chaplain, and within a day or 2, I got to go home to marry my wife.
Oh, wow. So the chaplain pulled it out for you.
Yes. Well, it's like I said, okay, I even back up some. I got a call from the Red Cross. And they, you want to go home and get married? Well, I had my sergeant there. I had my captain there looking over my shoulders. And like I said, you know how whipped you are after basic training? I said, no. Until I got to Fort Sill, then I said yes. I mean, they browbeated me, and so.
Yeah, Fort Sill was where in Oklahoma, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
That's where I went for. When you make out your paperwork, I said I want to go into artillery.
All right.
My father told me if you go into artillery, Barry, you're always way behind. And the lines, there's a line there, and the enemy's over there, and you're over here, and you never cross. Well, he never knew about Vietnam. There is no line in Vietnam. It's all circle.
Yeah.
It was no line. It was a circle battery. Yeah. But anyway.
So then you did your basic where?
Fort Knox.
Fort Knox. Okay. And that's when in Kentucky?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Geez, I know a little bit of Army life. and okay, so when you got to Fort Sill, then what did you do? As far as training goes, or
I trained on artillery.
On artillery.
Yes, that's what Fort Sill is for. Known as for artillery and rockets. And,
okay.
And I trained on that. Then they came to me and says that we'd like you to sign up for officer training school. I said, oh yeah, really? And yeah, he said, but if you sign up, you have to sign up for 2 more years. I said, well, no, I don't think so. I don't think this is going to happen. Okay. And then he came back, well, we got a NCO for chief of section of artillery piece. I said, okay, I can do that. Because, you know, late 69 and 70, they were talking about peace in Vietnam.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it didn't happen, of course. But I went through NCO school and got my E5. I got 3 stripes, no specialist on the hardcore E5.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to Vietnam.
So what type of artillery did you train on then?
Well, I trained on all the guns.
All of them?
All the guns. And SPs, self-propelled. I trained on all of them, but I ended up being, when I went to Vietnam, they assigned me to a 105 battery. The chief of section there he just got murdered or killed. So I was assigned that gun.
Okay, and the 105 is what? The 105 was what again? The group that you were assigned to, or the
No, it's the size of the gun.
size of the gun? Oh, okay, that's what I was getting
105
at,
millimeter. That's the size of the artillery piece.
Yeah, and being not familiar with that, is that like a cannon or?
It's. Let me show you what it is. I can show you. Well, right here, my most famous picture I made from, I guess you can see it.
Oh yeah, okay.
Okay, I got probably a couple better pictures of a 105 howitzer.
Okay.
It's not a gun. A gun is a long barrel.
Uh-huh.
A howitzer is a short barrel.
Okay.
All right, and
There's where I was going. I wanted to kind of explain it to me a little
yes,
bit.
yes, it's here it is. Here it is. Here's my howitzer. There's my 105.
Okay.
All
Yes.
right.
Yes. And would they just call it a howitzer, 105 howitzer?
Yeah.
They didn't call it like a cannon or
No,
anything
no,
like that?
no,
Okay.
no. It wasn't a cannon. It was
Okay.
a howitzer.
Okay.
Howitzer is a gun shoots a flat trajectory. A howitzer is up, like a lob. It lobs it. You know, it's like that gun was good up until 7 miles, about 7 miles.
You know, in just a short period of time, I'm learning a lot from you already. Because, of course, I was Air Force, but here's a kind of a different coincidence. You were on the 105 howitzer,
Yeah.
and in the Air Force, I was crew chief on the F-105 fighter bomber.
Oh, I tell you what, I had a lot of respect for the Air Force, especially Puff the Magic Dragon.
Oh yeah, the C-47s.
Oh
yeah.
man, when they came over, I was so happy to see them put a bullet in every square inch. That was cool.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, but anyway, you know, when I first got to Vietnam, the very first night I landed in Vietnam, in Benoit, we got incoming.
Mm-hmm.
So we, sleeping in our underwear, ran to the foxholes. I said, well, this is silly as heck. I mean, the hooches had sandbags all the way up to the windows. So that hour later we got incoming again. I stayed right there. I just went down on the floor and went against the wall.
Yeah.
That's the first night, though. The very first night I was there, I get bombed.
Welcome to Vietnam.
Yes,
Right?
yes,
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, did you, in your service time, did you come across anybody from the Muskegon area or anything like that?
Nope.
No.
No, nobody, no. I did meet have friends in Vietnam, but
Uh-huh.
they were from Massachusetts and so forth. So, but no, I never met no one. I did have a neighbor kid that was in the army, a grunt that was up by the DMZ line.
Okay.
His name was Joe Frazine, but
Oh my gosh, Frazine. Another name from the past.
yeah. Where are you from?
I'm from Muskegon.
But where?
I actually
You
grew
went to
up-
Catholic?
Yes. Yes. And for grade school I went to St. Joseph's.
Oh, I would say Michael's.
St. Michael, sure. That's my father-in-law was from there. Zarni was, that's how we pronounce it, Czarney. He pronounced it Chardonnay.
That name I know.
And him and John Kroll were really good friends.
Oh, really?
Yes.
No, that was my uncle. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. So you didn't run across anybody there?
No, I
that
never
you
run
knew?
across anybody from Muskegon. I got a couple messages or inter-country mail from that Joe Frazine.
Uh-huh.
He was a couple years younger than me. But
Yeah.
other than that, no.
So then, in your total service, then how many years did you put in?
I spent, I guess, 1 year, 10 months, and 10 days. I spent 1 year here in the United States and 10 months, 10 days in Vietnam.
Okay. And then were you placed into inactive reserves for a certain
No.
amount of time, or
No,
just?
I was an ETS out.
Okay. Is there any vivid memory of your time training, or what was the best part? What was the worst part of your training?
My training,
Yes, when you were in basic.
it was all preparing me for war, and I knew it.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't a draft dodger. I did not. Matter of fact, I have a hate for James Fonda, but
Oh yeah.
I never was a draft dodger or nothing. But I did go to college to stay out of the draft. I did. I stayed. I tried to go to school, but my dad finally kicked me out of the house, and I couldn't work and go to school full time. So I got drafted, and basic training was. I guess I'm going to say basic training was equivalent to the first couple, 2-3 weeks of football practice.
Yes.
You know,
Conditioning.
Conditioning, AIT, artillery, I learned a lot there. That was kind of cool. And I'm glad I did go into that branch of service, and
You learned how to tear your piece down and clean it and all that there, or?
what, my artillery piece?
Yeah.
But there's only a breech and a barrel. That's all an artillery piece. It's like a single shotgun or gun. There's not many working pieces. Of course, it does rotate. But as you can see, I got there after they got rid of the split trails, and they had the rotating tire on the back, so it was much easier. But when they had the split trails, like I said, I got one of the newer guns when I got there. But
Yeah. But I guess what I was getting at is, did you have to qualify with a rifle?
oh yeah, I did all that.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
You qualified with what?
Well, M16.
M16. Okay.
Yeah, not. I qualified M16. That was like the 30-06, right?
M16 was the semi-automatic.
No, yeah. This was
You were possibly the M1 carbine.
Yeah, I think what M1. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
because I was in approximately around the same time, and that's what I qualified on, was the M1.
yeah, M1. M16, I didn't have an M16 until I got to Vietnam.
Right.
And then I got an M16. I did have an M16, you can see in my pictures.
Mhm.
I was with an M16 in Vietnam. But yes, I qualified in Fort Knox with an M1.
Yeah. Beautiful piece to fire.
Yes, it was.
I just loved it.
Kicked a little bit.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was all right. It was all
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
then you went from basic into your what I would call specialized training.
Yeah, AIT, yeah.
Yeah. And then into Vietnam. So.
Nope. I went to NCO school after AIT.
Oh, okay.
When I graduated, I was E5.
Uh-huh.
Not a special, an E5, a
E5.
hard E5.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's what, after I graduated, then I went to Vietnam as chief of section. I had one gun was assigned to me, and the guys were all assigned to me.
So in E5, I'm trying to, think of what that would be in the Air Force terms. E5 would be like maybe a staff sergeant?
Staff sergeant, I think it was an E6. I was just below a staff sergeant.
Okay.
I was just a regular sergeant.
Sergeant, okay.
Yes.
Okay. So, anything else interesting take place when you were down in Fort Sill?
No, it's just that I got a chance to go to school for the NCO school, and I graduated pretty close to the top of the class. I had a few incidences, but other than that, where I had one or two guys that didn't obey my orders about getting the barracks cleaned up. I was on the bottom barracks. They were up in the second floor.
Oh, yeah.
And when I went to, we were going to have an inspection the next day, it was a pigsty. I was hot. Oh, was I hot. And before the night was over, though, it was cleaned up. Let's put it that way.
And do you recall any of your instructors at all?
Not instructor, no. I just cut my nose clean, and I just did what I was told, and well, as a matter of fact, one of the instructors I had, I can't remember his name, but he ended up being he wasn't a first sergeant, but he was like an E7 in Vietnam. He was, part of the battalion. The artillery pieces. He ended up there. I don't know if I got any pictures of him or not. But he was from the school. I couldn't believe I'd seen him there. I said, "Oh my goodness."
So, going to your Vietnam experience, did you fire your howitzer a lot, or were you firing like at suspected territory where the enemy might be hanging out or whatever? Or?
I don't think more than 2 days in a row went by without firing a fire mission. We were protecting grunts.
Okay.
Okay, and fire missions would come any time of the night or day. We were 24/7. We were on duty 24/7, and we had. I assigned guard duty to the guys, and then fire mission come down. And we could shoot any time of the day or night.
Okay, so
if we weren't filling sandbags, for the perimeter of our gun, we fired a lot of fire missions, a lot, especially when we went into Cambodia. That was.
So were you on the move then?
What do you mean? Yeah, we went from LZ. We're first cab. First cab was they air. You know, they were helicopters. Chinooks take our guns and move us to an LZ, and then we build the LZ up, and when we get it all built up, and we would.
So how did you transport that, by Jeep or?
No, Chinook. The double bladed.
Oh, okay, sure.
Chinooks, yeah. We transported from LZ to LZ. We get everything packed on our guns, and
So did you then fly with the?
yeah, then we get inside there, and
Okay.
we fly from LZ to LZ, and then the CBs or somebody, that's why I'm surprised I haven't got Agent Orange yet, because we come into a middle of the jungle and there was nothing. And I used to praise them, CBs. I said, my goodness, they did a great job. Yeah, well, I come to find out down the road. But I'm healthy as a horse. I don't have a problem at all.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, but I mean, we go from LZ to LZ, and it was clear.
Yes.
The vegetation was gone.
That would be from landing zone to landing zone?
Yes.
Okay, and then when you hit a new landing zone, what did you do? Start sandbagging?
Yes, we plant our gun. There was a star formation. And the center gun, he would shoot missions. But we would place our gun and we would get our position. That's where our gun was. Yes, we start filling sandbags, making hooches for the sleeping. I mean, I got pictures of that. We fill a lot of sandbags, and and then we would have a fire mission to make sure all our guns are coordinated. Then we wait.
So you actually. You didn't sleep in a hotel overnight or anything like that.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
I show you my hotel. I show you my shower. I got pictures of how I took showers during the monsoons. When it started raining, I with soap, bare ass naked, and take a nice quick shower and hope to God the rain didn't quit. Because if it rained quick, which it did, I had to go into a mud puddle.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well,
sleeping, you...
one thing about it, I come from a camping family.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so that wasn't really that bad. Coming from a camping family, we camped out in the woods, out in the middle of the woods, deer hunting and so forth. So it wasn't really bad. It's just that I love telling it because to people that don't know anything about camping, oh my goodness sakes, well,
Well, I was kidding you about the hotel deal because I know that you were roughing it, no two ways about it.
That's right. Every day. I mean, then we get 1 week of R&R, and it's illegal for us to wear shorts, but we could go shirtless.
Yes.
And man, I thought I was tan. Always, I thought I was Dan. And I went to Hawaii, took 2 showers, and I was white again. It was nothing but Vietnam dirt. I couldn't believe I was white again, and it started all over again.
So you got R&R, rest and recuperation, in Hawaii?
Yes, with my wife. Yes.
Yeah, good. Yeah. And how long of a R&R did you have?
1 week.
1 week.
Yeah,
okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So now when you moved your positions from LZ to LZ, did you how long were you usually at one LZ?
Like we went to Cambodia. I think, if I can remember right, we were in Cambodia maybe 10 days, something like that, And that was rough. I mean, especially we're firing 7 clicks away, and we could hear the explosion. I don't know how true it is because I can't say I've seen it, but the grunts told us that cache of arms there was so large battalion of platoon of soldiers tried to circle it. The gooks were coming in there with trucks and pulling out stuff and driving out with it. That's how big a catch. I mean, we could hear the explosion 7 miles away. I mean, it was, and see the smoke and everything.
Yeah.
It was something.
Yeah. So you were not only just clearing the way for the grunts, but you were also going for targets like that.
Yeah, well, that one, yeah. Most of the time was just for the grunts, but that
Okay.
we I think we've had some either 8-inch or 175s there at that LZ where could bomb there was a lot of ammo.
Yeah.
It was a big cache. That was but oh well.
So while you were there, how did you find your mail experiences? Were you able to get mail from home and?
Yeah, I mean I got my letters. I mean it was. I mean I'd never expected to get a mail. If I got a letter, I was happier than hell. But the mail and the food and that. After a while, you just get to the point where you don't expect it. If you get it, yay! If you don't get it, you got C rations.
Right.
A hot meal, not very often. C rations, yes. Hot meal with a C4.
C rations were your main meal, though, right?
Well, depending. When you start moving from LZ to LZ, yeah. It was. They did set up some, but it was no elaborate steak and eggs. I'll tell you that. It was, just regular food. I mean, at least for myself, personally, I didn't really think much about it. I was just happy. I did. I used to trade with the grunts awful lot. I'd give them a couple beers for some C rations, and I always had my own little stash of food. I never went hungry. Like I said, I'd camp. I know what camp food is like. I know how to cook my own food and everything, back then. So I never went hungry.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you ever come in any contact or see any prisoners of war at all? Or?
Not prisoners of war, but we had a ground attack. We shot my beehive round. But other than that, I never seen no,
I guess probably the biggest problem over there was the fact that you could have even had them amongst you and not even know it because so many of the Vietnamese were trusted.
Yeah, but that's back in the city. Remember, I was out in the bush.
Oh, that's true. Yes.
Yeah. You did bring up something that really hurt me a lot. Two things. Like I says, your Air Force would bring in body bags of our grunts. And I thought it was so disrespectful that, it's a helicopter. You could went up and down, but no, they bounced them along the ground. That just broke my heart when I seen that. Yeah, I mean, how can you treat American soldiers like that? Dead ones, bounce them along the ground. I didn't like that at all.
When you say bounce them around, Barry, what do you mean?
When a helicopter, the helicopter would come in and go down. Well, these helicopters would come in and boom, boom, boom. The body bags were hanging below the helicopter and bouncing them across the ground.
I wonder why they would do that.
What do you think it broke my heart for? Yeah. I don't know why they did that. That hurt. I mean, it's bad enough dying, but then you're disrespecting the body.
Yes.
That one thing that really hurt me.
Yeah.
And the second thing that really hurt me, I was shooting my artillery piece, and I had a confirmed kill. It took me, I'm a Roman Catholic.
Right.
It took me 2 or 3 times to go to confession before the priest finally say, Barry, it's okay. You went to war. It took me many years to get over it, that I had a confirmed kill. It did. I mean, I know I was killing people, but my gun was the only one shooting that night. And I had a confirmed kill. That hurt. That hurt. But
Yeah. Was that confirmed by the grunts then?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I had a confirmed kill, and that hurt. It did. It really hurt, but I finally got over it.
Yeah.
Went to confession enough. Confessed it enough that.
I can really understand how that would hurt, you know. It's something that, thank God, not every person has to face. And the hard part of it is the people that haven't had this experience don't understand, you know.
I know.
And until you do it, and then it's tough. So
Yeah.
yeah. So when you came back then from Vietnam, where did you go?
I went to New Jersey, ETSI, flew into Grand Rapids, and I was up like 48 straight hours. When I landed in Grand Rapids, somebody spit at me, and I tell you what, if I wasn't so tired, I'd beat his ass to this day, but I was too tired. I just walked away.
That happened in Grand Rapids?
Yep.
Yeah.
Of all places,
Yeah, I know.
I couldn't believe it. But anyway, it happened in Grand Rapids. That was ETS out. I was already done. But I can't remember where it was. Like I said, I was up for many hours. When I was in Vietnam, the first sergeant came up to me, "Get your stuff together, you're getting the hell out of here." What? You put in for early out, you got it. All right. And I, packed my stuff and I was up. I flew into helicopter into Benoit, ETS out of Benoit, flew into New Jersey. And I can't remember what fort that is in New Jersey. But I was tired. I was worn out. And
Yeah. So what did you travel in as far as clothing? Did you travel in your uniform?
oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, all the way until I got home.
Now, would that have been like a travel uniform or your fatigues or
It was fatigues.
fatigues? Okay.
Yeah, I didn't have I wasn't spruced up like that guy out there. No, I had my regular camouflage, my regular old army outfit.
Yeah.
Nothing special.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I had my stripes on there. I can't remember. I don't remember if it was just a regular old shirt and pants, or I don't know. I can't remember. Like I said, it was rush to get out of there. I mean, I had like 15 minutes to get out of the war zone. My helicopter was there and waiting on me. So
yeah. And then when you landed in Grand Rapids, now were you completely done with the service?
Yes.
Then? Okay.
Yes,
so,
I ETS out at New Jersey.
So you had your DD 214
Yes,
in
I
hand.
did.
Good.
Yes, I did.
Good. Yeah. And then it was I know how it feels to land back on our soil again and to be able to go see our wives and whatnot. It's quite a feeling. So then you went back, or you came back and joined your wife at that time then?
Yeah, she picked me up in Grand Rapids.
Okay, very nice.
But like I said, I was tired. I mean, I was up like 48 hours or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just beat down, tired. I think I fell asleep all the way from Grand Rapids to Muskegon.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. And are you still married to this one?
Oh yes, 53 years.
Yeah.
52 years ago, I was in Vietnam and married to her for 53 years. Yes.
Congratulations. Man.
Yes.
Something to be proud of, I'll tell you, these days especially.
Yeah.
So yeah. So, and then what did you do for a living after that when you got back?
My dad was a part owner of. I went to school. But my dad was a part owner of a foundry in Ravenna called Camcast, and I got a cleanup job. I was cleanup at night. I would go in there and clean up until I don't know.
That was some pretty tough work too.
Oh, it was easy.
Really?
Oh yeah. Cause after filling all the sandbags, do you think shoveling sand is hard?
Yeah.
I filled a lot of sandbags.
Yeah. We'll call you the Sandman, huh?
Yeah. And then, that's where I went to school and worked at a foundry, clean up.
Uh-huh.
And then after school, I went to work. I was working in Camcast full time after a while, and I decided to move to CWC. My dad was quite upset with me, but it was a lot better money.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
on piecework, worked all kinds of overtime, but your body's used to it.
Which plant did you work at in?
Plant 5,
And that was in the Heights?
Camcast.
Is that in the Heights or was that
No, that's on Sherman.
on Sherman? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right behind Plant 3. Plant 3 was on Sherman and
Yeah.
Henry, and the plant behind it. The only one that's running now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only one that's running now.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, is any of your other family gone into the service since you've gotten out, or now you just had the 2 daughters?
No, I had 5 kids. I
Oh,
had 4
okay.
daughters and 1 boy. The last one was a boy.
Okay.
Any other family member? I think Dave Kroll was in the Navy.
Right. I think you're right.
Okay, and I can't think of any other one in my whole family. I know none of my siblings were in the
No.
service. None of them, and their mates were never in a service.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just my cousin Dave. He was
Yeah.
like 3 or 4 years older than me. He was in the Navy.
Okay.
But other than that, no.
Yeah. Anything else you'd like to share with us? Any family experiences or any of the other experiences we may have missed as we were going down the line?
No, it was a sobering experience to be in a service. I mean, but then again, services, military is obeying orders. So if you come from a strict family situation, you don't have a problem at all following orders. I never was in trouble. I mean, I did, when I was in NCO school, I did grab a hold of a guy who was gonna, like I told you earlier, he was in charge of the upper barracks, and there was a pigsty for inspection the next day. And other than that, no, I mean, it's, like I said, if you had a strict upbringing, rules or regulations in your house, military ain't hard to take. It ain't not hard to do.
How true that is. Yeah. How true that is.
It is. It's true. I mean, if you follow orders, I mean, it's there.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing to it. I mean, the only bad thing about it, you're being away from your family.
Right.
Yeah, that's only the hard part about the whole thing. But then again, you have to have military to keep us safe and sound from the enemy.
Yes, you do.
And it's good training in case you need it if your shit hits the fan.
Yep. Yes, it is. So. Okay, then. Yeah, I think I've got all my questions in, and like I say, if there's any other.
No, I mean, I don't. The only thing is, I guess I'm proud of this picture here. This is when we were in Cambodia. This one right here. This picture here of when we were in Cambodia.
You can hold that right up.
Can you see it?
Yes, I can see it.
That's one right here. This is the Chicago Tribune.
Okay.
And this is Barry Kroll right here without the helmet on.
Okay.
His helmet's on the barrel of the gun. But this picture was from New York all the way to LA. The whole country seen this picture.
Yeah.
This is the guy that took it right here, back here.
Uh-huh.
But
That is something to be proud of. You bet.
It was. I mean, it definitely proof that I was in Vietnam.
Yeah. And you know, a little Muskegon or well, at that time, a little Muskegon guy. He's on these newspapers, you know, that are worldwide.
This is
nationwide.
This was on a curb. We had a 3-day in-country R&R when we came back from Cambodia.
Uh-huh.
And of course, you know what 3 days of R&R is like. I was sitting there on the curb with my buddy Shaw, and right there, Shaw.
Okay.
That paper blew up at my feet.
Uh-huh.
And I said, "Hey, Shaw." He said, "Yeah, Barry." I said, "That looks like me." He said, "What is you dummy?" So I sent that home to my wife as the picture, you know.
Uh-huh.
I had a 35mm camera, and I took a couple of pictures of it. And while I was still in Vietnam, she made a big, huge poster with my 2 daughters standing right there with that picture right there. On that poster, you know, it was it just something that.
Very nice.
Yes, it is. It was. I mean, I was proud. I'm proud to show that a little Muskegon boy had made the papers from one end of the coast to the other.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Other than that, you know.
Yeah.
The VA's been good to me. I mean, the hearing aids.
How much of your hearing did you lose?
This, because I was the chief of section.
Uh-huh.
This ear is gone.
Okay.
I was the chief of section, so I had to listen, as you can see by this picture, right there.
Okay.
I was checking the elevation with a quadrant, and my assistant gunner was down here saying elevation and you know, the command.
Right.
So I had to hear. So in my right hand was check the elevation, a quadrant checker. I was checking the elevation, and when I told him to fire, I could plug this ear. Because I had that thing, I'd be whopping myself in the head.
Sure.
Of course, I had my helmet off when I fired my gun, but yeah, and it was all right. I mean. Been a long time since I talked like this about it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's not very many people out there that.
Well, I'm glad you opened up with us today.
Yeah, I'm glad I did too. You know, it's.
Of course, knowing we attended the same high school and knowing members of your family, you know, it kind of helps to pull everything together too. It makes it a little more.
What year did you graduate?
I graduated in 1963.
63.
Dave, with Dave,
Yeah, Dave, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And probably, you probably know him. I don't brag about it, but you probably know him. Paul Daleski?
Paul Daleski?
Dana Daleski?
Dana, yeah.
Dana.
Or Dana, yeah.
I married Mara Daleski.
Oh, okay. And we had Jeannie.
Jean?
Jean, yes.
And Jane?
Or Jane. We had Jane.
Twins. They're twins. Yeah. They both graduated at the same time. Matter of fact, Jane not living with me. She came up for. I got a couple granddaughters getting married.
Okay.
One was last week, and Jane came up from Florida, and she's been spending the last 3 weeks. She's spent with us.
Well, is she still with you?
Yes.
You make sure you tell her hi from
yes,
myself and my brother Ron Friday.
Okay.
Because she worked with us at Catholic Charities.
Oh, okay.
In the baby pantry there.
Yeah. Okay, that's Jane. Yep.
Yeah.
And Jean lives in Kalamazoo.
Okay.
The twin.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, small world, ain't it, partner?
It sure is. It sure is. Well, okay, we'll wrap this up then. And once again, thank you so much for your service. And be proud of it.
I am.
You bet.
I am.
You bet. So.
I got a multitude of hats I wear. Depending where I go, I wear them. Especially when I go out shop.
Yeah.
Thank a vet for your
Yep.
liberty.
All right. Thank you very much, Barry, and I'll
Yep.
shut this off.
Okay.